Tonny and Team show is back. Welcome back from that derby weekend where we had a hot Sunday with one of the best games that we've seen this season, team. Arsenal beating Tottenham 4-2. What a match of football.
Yeah, Tony, if we talk about classics, that
Can we talk about it as a match?
Yeah, you don't say it's a match, no. It was a classic, Tony, and having gone 2-1 down and coming back to win 4-2, I thought that is, Tony, the best result Unai Emery has given the Arsenal fans this year.
He certainly was asked if that was the best day that he has had at Arsenal, but he said that the day he signed was his best day, so it was very, very interesting. Arsenal outclassing Tottenham. Last week, Spurs beat Chelsea with ease 3-1.
Yeah.
We had thought that if Spurs carried on like that, they got another win in the Champions League, 1-0 against Inter Milan. They visited an Arsenal side that had not yet been beaten in 18 games, now sitting on 19 unbeaten games, which is very, very interesting and impressive from Unai Emery's side. But Arsenal started this game like they wanted something from this particular game. It took Tottenham 20 minutes to get a touch in the Arsenal box, so it shows you how much dominant, how much Arsenal dominated these opening stages. In the picks, Arsenal, Unai Emery has showed that he's not willing to trust Ozil in the big games. We saw him missing out in the game against Bournemouth. He had talked about his pace, lack of pace, that he couldn't be playing in the big games where they required a lot of pace. This was a game where he expected a lot of pace. He brought back the back three that he had played against Bournemouth. Where is Ozil?
Yeah, where is Ozil, Tony? And before we mention Ozil, I think the next culprit will be Mkhitaryan, Tony. He was also a bit leggy there. He did not perform to his best. But having benched Ozil in the Bournemouth game, you would tell the tempo, the high press of Tottenham would warrant Ozil to be on the bench at least. I didn't expect him not to be in the squad, Tony. But Arsenal, just like you've said, they started like a house on fire.
Explosive.
They were attacking Tottenham, and you could tell, Tony, that this team was going for it. They were deserving the right to go ahead. I thought Vertonghen performed so poor there, Tony. With his experience, you can't hold that ball, and it was a correctly awarded penalty there to go 1-0.
Speaking of Vertonghen, he's a player that we didn't expect to come into this game because he has been injured. Alderweireld has been playing at centre-back with Johan Cruyff. It was certainly very interesting to see that now Vertonghen had been thrown in at the deep end, so you could see some of the lack of fitness
wasn't much fit,
that he was experiencing there. But for Arsenal, they got that first 10 minutes, that penalty on 10 minutes from that handball, of course, that Aubameyang struck very swiftly. But they were culpable of missing a couple of chances just before Tottenham equalized. Especially we saw Aubameyang missing almost a sitter.
Yeah, it was a sitter.
He missed that ball with his left leg.
He scored with Bournemouth a similar goal, but I thought this was right behind his run. But I wanted to blame him, but I thought maybe after watching it again, it was behind. But, Tony, Tottenham grew into the game. You would see Tottenham was trying to find something. And I thought with their touches right, they were able to get that equalizer. I thought awful Ben Leonard there. You have to push that ball away. I don't know why he's trying to parry it, but almost catching it, Tony. So I thought the equalizer was deserved by Tottenham, but I blame the keeper on that one.
The penalty for Tottenham that made it 2-1. Is Heung-min Son foul?
No. There is a touch there, Tony, but there is no one who can go down with that touch. No,
it was suddenly a very, very soft penalty, in my opinion as well. The Arsenal penalty was definitely a penalty, but Mike Dean got it utterly wrong throughout the second penalty. That Hurricane, of course, struck very interestingly, getting now 8 goals in the 8 North London derbies, equaling Emmanuel Adebayo's record in that particular derby. Very, very interesting. The game was explosive, but Arsenal came back in the second half. They've been the second half side of the season. If you look at the first half performances for all the teams, you would find Arsenal as low as 19th place, but they certainly turn up the style in the second half. The coach being very decisive in benching Iwobi and Mkhitaryan when they had performed well.
Very bright. I thought that was a tactical masterclass, Tony. Just like you've mentioned, Arsenal should have been in 19th if we were to consider first half performance. They have not led in any game out of 14, not any. But putting Iwobi on bench and then Mkhitaryan, I was like, wow, Tony, as long as you play Lacazette and Aubameyang, that is a terrific forward. And I've not seen two number 9s who love playing with each other. These two, Tony, enjoy themselves. And from there, I thought Arsenal was able to expose Johan Foyth there. He totally looked disturbed. He did not know which player to mark. He didn't know when to go tight, when to give space, and Arsenal utilized all that. Well deserved, Tony, to get that equalizer. Again, brilliantly taken.
Very, very interesting. Of course, we saw Aubameyang get that's on risk. In my opinion, I've seen Henry bending. Very, very brilliant strike. Very sweet strike. First time he took it. First time in his pass there. But back to the subs that Unai Emery made at halftime.
Yep.
Is this the pressure that Unai has put on the players?
Yes, the pressure. And if you remember very well, Tony, with all due respect to Wenger, every time he subs a player, it seems he had his plan already that I'm going to pull out this player at this mark.
Whether he performs well or not.
Yeah. But Unai Emery would identify it. Lacazette needs to come in. Mkhitaryan is not giving enough. Iwobi is not delivering. And I thought Ramsey auditioned well for a new contract. I'll be surprised if he's not given. And this team attacked. They knew there was nothing to lose. We are at home. We need to give it a go. And I thought perfect substitution.
Very interesting. Arsenal having the best second half of their lives there, getting 3 goals through Lacazette, the substitute, getting 1 through Lucas Torreira for the club there. Very interesting.
He had a great performance too, Tony.
Very, very solid performance. I think Arsenal players on the whole had a very, very brilliant performance. This coach needs to be taken seriously right now, team. It will be very interesting to see how he continues like that. Of course, we know that he has a very, very tough test coming up midweek. We'll be getting to that in a second. But of course, I've seen Arsenal playing very, very well. They have the best subs. They have the most goals from the subs in the division. They have the most goals in the second half. Very, very interesting. You have to take the game 90 minutes. You cannot put your foot off the gas there. Of course, that win taking them now just above Spurs on goal difference. They are both on 30 points. Arsenal having a goal difference of 14.
Tottenham back
10 goals there. For Tottenham, Mauricio Pochettino said that the team lacked desire in the second half. They lacked. What went wrong? They didn't turn up in the second half.
I thought they didn't turn up, Tony. Son totally was off pace in the second half. Dele Alli was coming too deep. Eriksen, I didn't understand his position this time. He almost was playing as a number 11, coming back to midfield. The entire Tottenham side, I think, wanted a push. You saw, I think there was a fight between Sergio Aurier and Foyth, trying to understand we need to communicate to each other. So with all those individual mistakes, I thought it all accumulated into their abysmal performance. They did not perform well, Tony.
Very interesting. Was it a matter of Tottenham not expecting this kind of Arsenal?
They didn't expect it. They didn't expect it because going to this game, everyone was vouching for Tottenham to win this game, Tony. But I thought they were surprised, and Arsenal did not turn up the intensity. They just kept going, and they almost got the 5th there too.
What a game of football that we watched on Sunday afternoon. Very, very magnificent performance from Arsenal. Big win for them. Big result for them as well. They hadn't performed before against the big sides. This was the first big side that they were facing in that run of 18 games unbeaten, which they passed with flying results. Of course, we'll be coming back after the break with more of the results. Don't go away.
Who do you call in the middle of the night? Pop, champagne, yo, might for this jumpy on the mic be all night. Now you have me where you need, boo. My heart like this card, now you see through.